Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Toon Dollars, and if you're new, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Today we are going to take a tour of a neighborhood provided to us by one of our reviewers. One of our viewers said, hey, can you pass my old neighborhood? I used to live by 199 Chew Ave. So right now we're in the Olney or Olney section of Philadelphia, PA. We're turning on Front and Olney. We're turning right on 100 West Olney Avenue. We're on the 100 block of West Olney Avenue. It's a 2-lane street. We have a lane coming towards us and we have a lane going down. We're about to hit the 5500 block of Masher Street. This is located on the north side of the city. So if you would visit City Hall, keep traveling north and you'll end up in this neighborhood. We're gonna make a right on the 5600 block of Masher Street. We see some 2-story houses, but then we see an occasional 3-story house that's recessed and pushed back a little bit. On the right-hand side, we have some front lawns, some raised basements. The porches are bricked in, with brick pointing. We have Mulaney Deli on my right. We're on Masher and Chew Ave. So we're gonna turn to the 199 block of Chew Avenue. This is the block that the gentleman lived in at one time or another. Passing the 5600 block of Palethorpe Street. We're on Chew Ave and 2nd Street. So I'm gonna try to go right and then go left and go right and go left. I'm gonna try to zigzag through the neighborhood. It might be a little complicated depending on the layout. Some streets are one way, some streets are 2-way. So please bear with me. So to my knowledge, this neighborhood right here, back in the day, it was a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. We're passing 200 Furley Street. And now we're passing Grange Avenue. Now this neighborhood has a multicultural background. It consists of African Americans, Hispanics, even people from the Middle East, Arabs, etc., Asians, and more. Okay, let's make this left right here on Calvert Street. We have JoJo Academy Learning Center on my right-hand side. Looks like a little flat fix shop in front of us. A Cleanest right here on my left-hand side, located in the basement of a residential home. Now, I almost got caught off guard. I thought this was a one-way street because some vehicles were facing towards me, but as you can see, there's vehicles facing both ways. So this is one of those streets where you have to share a lane. If somebody's coming from in front of us and we're in the way or behind us, we have to move out of the way just to let them by, which means we have to park up. All right. So we have a young gentleman, a young brother here with his son on a 4-wheeler. I'm assuming that's his son because it's like a little 2-year-old and he's probably himself in his 20s. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little dangerous to be taking your 2-year-old on a ride with an ATV, you know, without a helmet and all of that, especially on the streets, but may they have a blessed ride. All right, so we just turned down the 5800 block of Phillips Street. We're gonna make a right. We're gonna turn up the 5800 block of American Street. Now, if you go down to North Philly, closer to Center City, and you go to American Street does not have any inhabitants. It's mainly an industrial zone. American and Lehigh and American Allegheny. It's industrial. But as you can see here, American Street is residential. As you can see, all of the house designs are very similar, minus the difference in color and the shingles and the different color siding that they use. The houses in front of us have huge lawns that actually have raised stairs. You have to climb probably like 8 stairs in order to get to your lawn, and then you got to go another 20 feet to get to your front home steps, and then you got to climb up another flight of steps just to get into your front door. So that's probably interesting when you have to bring in furniture. Yeah, you got a little battle there. Check this out. We got some garages on my left hand side on Calvert and 3rd Street. Not sure what they're charging on rent, but it can't be much. Max, maybe they can base the rent off of the neighborhood. Probably like $500 each garage, but that might be pushing it, especially if there's no power and there's no water or nothing. If they're just storage units, they're probably like $200-300 a garage. Now, if they have some type of power, then the price goes up. So these people also have back alleys. It looks like some of them have back alleys. Yeah, some of them have back garages back here. We're on 3rd and Nedro Avenue, the 300 block of Nedro, 5800 block of 3rd Street. We have a daycare learning center on my right hand side. We're gonna go down Widener Street. I'm gonna make a right. This building on my left is for sale. It looks like it had a storefront on the side of it at one time or another. Now this neighborhood, as I mentioned earlier, in the past, it was predominantly Caucasian. I'm assuming when it was predominantly Caucasian, there weren't as many crimes. There was probably some crimes because crime consists in every neighborhood. But upon minorities moving into the neighborhood, Olney, or the Olney section, has been on the headlines for the last decade, maybe decade and a half, when it comes to shootings, robberies, assaults, Grand Theft Auto, etc., etc. This neighborhood tends to be on the news often. All right, so we are waiting for this gentleman who seems to be a construction worker. He's like in his 60s, maybe 70s, because I see a bald head with some spare white hair. So he must be into some type of construction business. He has the mask with the goggles. He's telling his vehicle, I guess whoever's here for him, to park up because they're blocking traffic. You see, we have one-sided parking, so we're only able to park on the right side on this block. But on the left side, there's like tons of poles that prevent you from actually parking. You don't get an opportunity to park. All right, that resident that you guys just saw, she just came from out her house. She came running down the steps and running to her vehicle. All right, now we got somebody else holding us up. Great, beautiful, fabulous, spectacular. All right, it's Sunday, so this guy's probably going to church. It's a good chance he's, is he? Yeah, he may be going to church because he's suited up pretty spiffy there. Oh, and he's taking out the groceries, doing a little bit of Sunday shopping. But that's the bad thing about eliminating parking on both sides. Things like this happen. But they left in a reasonable amount of time. See, on the left-hand side, these people, I guess they still wanted to park. They said, look, we're going to park in front of our house regardless. Now, the only downside about that is if there's somebody with a wheelchair that goes through the sidewalk, they're not going to be able to go through. And now if PPA, Philadelphia Parking Authority, comes through here and sees these vehicles, even though they're parked in front of their house, they will give them a citation and write them a ticket because they're blocking a roadway that could be accessible to somebody who's, you know, disabled. On my right hand side, we got a barbershop called Temptations. On my left hand side, we got MJ Breakfast Restaurant, American and Spanish food. It's like a mom and pop spot. Now, I'm sure that the gentleman who told me to visit this neighborhood, he's probably older. I'm sure he's older than me, and he probably recalls a whole different neighborhood when he was here. So he probably knows like what stores used to originally be what. I'm not gonna go straight because it seems like A, people on the left are ready to take off my front end, and B, the people in front of us are double parked again and blocking traffic, and I'm not trying to sit here parked in traffic. So we're gonna make a right. The last speed racer went by. All right, we're gonna make this right on Nedro Avenue. We're on the 200 block of Nedro Avenue. Check out the neighborhood. You can see the porches. We have somebody flying by us. You ready? Mitsubishi Outlander. Yeah, they have no patience. I'm traveling 20 miles per hour. I mean, you can say that this neighborhood is a 25 mile per hour neighborhood, but it's good to travel safe because kids can pop out, animals can pop out, a squirrel can pop out, and we squirrel gang, so I don't run over squirrels or cats and that nature. We have a life-changing world evangelistic church on my right-hand side connected to that daycare center that I mentioned earlier. Wow. All right, let's go right here on 3rd and Nedro again, except the only difference we're going to do is we're not going to go up Widener. We already went up Widener. We can't go up Linden because Linden comes down. So we'll take our next block up and see what it looks like. It's called Linton. I called it Linden. I'm sorry. It's called Linton. 200 Linton Street. We have a Dominican hair salon on my left. And as you can see by the names of some of these businesses, you can tell the Hispanic community moved in. We are on Champlost, 3rd and Champlost. Let's make a right on Champlost. Buddy looked like he just picked up some food with his lady. They're about to go home and enjoy lunch. All right, let's turn left on American Street. I'm gonna go back up American Street. We're on the 60,000 or 6,000, depends how you want to say it, block of American Street. We have some closed porches, some open porches, some brick porches, some brick serrained lawns, or surrounded lawns, I should say. I said serrained. Surrounded lawns. Some mesh gate surrounded lawns. Some standard steel gated surrounded lawns. Some fence surrounded lawns. I guess once you own the house, you're allowed to pretty much do whatever you want with it. There's no zoning code. The zoning code probably went out the window years ago. All right, so we're gonna make a right. There's an alley on my right hand side, so if you lived in this neighborhood, you see where that vehicle that was reversing at, you can go down that alley. We're gonna make a right on the 6,000 block of Phillips Street. We have a colorful front lawn on my left. You see that colorful front lawn? It looks very child friendly. I wonder if they have children, because that was rainbow, or unless they're trying to make another statement. Yeah, everybody has trash. See, over here, they're able to put their trash cans out. On my other tours, you will see and hear me talking about why Philadelphia has so much trash, especially North Philadelphia. That's because the city made it a violation if you left your trash out during the week, unless it was trash day. If not, they'll fine you. In this neighborhood, these people are able to have trash cans out front of their front lawns. Therefore, people are able to throw away trash, because I'm looking on my left, I'm looking on my right, and I see trash cans in overabundance everywhere. Now, if you look on the street and you look down, you might see a little piece of trash or two, but it's not like North Philly where there's no trash cans in sight. This gentleman right here in front of us, I don't know if he's doing a delivery, but he wanted me to wait a minute. That's fine. He's in a Honda Civic, so I guess I can deal with staring at the tail of this Honda. He got a pretty interesting bumper protector there. That's pretty clever. You know, nowadays with all the new cars having color painted bumpers, when you park or parallel park in the city, your bumper gets ruined within a year or two. But with that little bumper guard he had, it looked like a good investment, you know, to protect your bumper covers. This old guy right here talking to somebody in an old school 430 Benz. I say old school because that's like a 2000s and early 2000s. Probably 10 plus, 15 plus years old. Okay, we're gonna make a right. We can continue to go left. If you continue to go left, you'll embark on the northeast. Northeast Philadelphia is a whole different beast of its own. It's huge. It's a lot of detail, a lot of blocks, a lot of angles, a lot of, you know, areas you can cover in the northeast. So for the purpose of this tour, we're gonna try our best to stay within the Olney section. All right, we're on Champlost. We're gonna make a right over here on 3rd Street. All right, we have Roslyn Street on my left-hand side, the 300 block of Roslyn Street. And you'll see little tiny blocks. And each one of those little tiny blocks that we're passing has a whole little community in it of 40 or so houses. We're gonna make a left on 300 Fern Street. 300 Fern Street. And as you can see, it's one-sided parking, and the residents on the left side put like flower pots and things of that nature in front of their house so people don't park there, and it gives them a little bit of like aesthetic. Okay, we are going to go straight. Going to cross over. We're still on Fern Street. Now we're on 4th and Fern. This neighborhood in the summer, it can have quite few residents outside, such as kids, adults, you know, people hanging out on their porches, on their steps, people riding pedal bikes. It's a pretty active neighborhood. When it comes to drug activity, I'm not gonna say they don't sell drugs. I'm sure if you know someone that knows someone, you can make house calls and visit houses in this community that sell drugs. But this isn't a typical neighborhood where you have corner boys standing outside trying to distribute substances. All right, we have somebody else in the middle of the street, double parked. It seems like they're in the vehicle. I see a head moving. I think I see some braids and some type of dreads or something. I'm gonna give him the 30-second, 30 to 60-second rule. Give him some time. Maybe he's an Uber or Lyft driver. Maybe he's waiting for his wife or his kids or somebody to come out. But after so long, we're gonna have to give him a beep beep. This is the time when you would use the SpongeBob sound effect. The one that goes 12 hours later. All right, buddy. I'll give you another 20 seconds. Yeah, he's waiting for his buddy. His buddy just waved at me. I guess he's like, thanks for not beeping or something. Buddy got on some nice sneaks. Green. Yeah, he was moving kind of slow. I don't know if he was like leaned up. Probably be on the syrup. That's also a different drug of choice. I mean, you can find any substance in Philadelphia. Pretty much any substance, from pill form to liquid form to powder form. You can get anything. You just gotta know where to go. All right, we are on 5th and Fern. 5th and Fern Street. We have a huge park in front of us. It's a beautiful, pretty quiet park as of now. In the summer, you'll see kids, playing football and playing sports and stuff. But it's not as bad as some other parks. Okay, let's try to squeeze our way in here. We're on Roslyn Street. Look at this lady behind me is peed off. He's acting like a lady. It's actually a man, but he was acting like a lady. The way he swung his arms out the window, and boy, people impatient. You guys hear I put my signals on at least 100 feet before the intersection. Most of the time, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give somebody enough time to know when you're gonna make a turn. Don't turn on the signal last minute. So if I know I'm gonna turn ahead of time, boom, I put on the signal. For example, I don't wanna keep going straight, so I'm gonna make this right here. So I hit the signal before I get to the corner, even though there's nobody behind me, but in the event of someone being behind me, they're fully aware of the move that I'm about to make. All right, so we're gonna turn right on 4th Street. Now again, we can go left, we can go right, we can go straight. The Olney section is pretty big. I mean, it's small, but then it's still pretty big. So I'm trying my best here to not overlook any blocks, but I know that's gonna be impossible. So see, I got a choice. I can make a left, I can go straight, or I can go right, guys. I think I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna continue to try to zigzag in some way or another. Zigzag, you see, on the left, we have a bunch of blocks. Many different little blocks that you can go visit. Lithgow, Lawrence, pretty much all the same names that are in the blocks of North Philly. After you pass the boulevard, they run over here, but this is the 5000, 6000, etc. neighborhood. Somebody else about to fly by me in a Kia. He just ate the red light. It would have been sweet if that Kia and that BMW kissed, because y'all know it would have been the responsibility of the Kia. That's Fisher Park right in front of us. I occasionally take my dog over there. In the past, I used to take him a lot more and let him run around. It's a nice little teeny, park. It's cool. So it's a nice little chunk of nature. I ain't gonna lie, once or two times I had to use the bathroom. That park served as a place to take a number one. Right now we're on 5th and Champlost. 5th and Champlost is a location that I used to like to come to. I haven't been here in a little bit for it, but I used to like to come up here for this place called Hot Wok. We just passed it on my right hand side. It's a Chinese store, but when I used to eat my General Tso broccoli, which is broccoli with vegetable fried rice and General Tso sauce only, that's where I used to go to get it. It used to be popping. Haven't ate it in some time, but yeah. I used to literally make trips up here, if not daily, like every other day, a couple times a week. And that's a little mission to be coming from where I'm at over here, but it was affordable and it tasted good. So with those two things combined, who can complain, right? All right, potholes everywhere. We're gonna make, let's make this left on Nedro. We're gonna make this left on Nedro. We're on 6th and Nedro. Seems like everybody in Olney today is an extreme amount of rush. Very impatient. Everybody's driving by me with angry faces. I could return an angry face because I got a real angry face. But nah, we're not gonna put out that energy. Are we, guys? Thumbs up for not putting out that type of energy. We're here to have a good time. We're here to document the environment. Fairhill Street. That would have been a nice block to turn down. Maybe we could hit it again in a little bit. Passing St. Paul's Evangelistic Lutheran Church on my left. 5th and Nedro. 5th and Nedro Avenue. So on this avenue of 5th Street, you'll see a lot of Asian businesses. Whether they're Thai, whether they're Vietnamese, whether they're Korean, whether they're Chinese. There's plenty going up and down the next 5 or 6 blocks of 5th Street. Up to 5th and Olney and all, there's a lot of Asian businesses. For example, Tang Pharmacy, Choey Hair Salon, Lucky Nail Spa, etc., etc. So the school we're passing is James Russell Lowell Public School, built in 1913. Passing the 5800 block of Lawrence. Now we're passing the 5900 block of Lithgow. Let's go up Lithgow. There's a Porsche parked right here, right in the hood, with a Porsche Panorama S, missing the P, so it says Porsche Panorama S, located in where other than Olney, the hood, or what's now can be considered the hood. I mentioned this briefly in one of my other videos. I think he's an Amazon Flex driver, so he just dropped off a package, right? Yeah, so in one of my other videos, I mentioned it that, look, there's an Asian female right here sweeping the front of her house. She looks like she could be like Vietnamese or something. And then she had like her little, I don't know if that's her daughter, most likely it's her daughter. She was like a little 2-year-old, but she was Asian too. So she was probably out front helping her mom clean. For sale. I'm sure like all other neighborhoods that are predominantly Caucasian, once, you know, minorities, it's sad to say, once minorities start moving in, the Caucasians start putting for sale signs and evacuating the community like there's a fire. Yeah, and they start selling. And then that's how more minorities come in, because they're coming in thinking, under the impression that this is a good neighborhood. You know, same thing with Juniata, same thing with Northeast. Northeast Philadelphia back in the day was, again, primarily a Caucasian, you know, neighborhood. But now you go to Northeast, you can find all races, all nationalities that live in the Northeast. So now you guys can see this block. This block, it looks like a normal 2-story row home block, right? However, the front facade pushes out about 8 feet, and in that 8 feet there's actually a porch. The porches are sealed, and then I'm assuming the second floor is pushed out a little bit more to make it look like a flat face, but they really have a porch. So they have a porch, and then you go inside, and then it's probably like the living room and all of that stuff. This is the 5900 block of Lawrence. Let's make a right here and go down that block that I wanted to go down earlier that I wasn't able to. It has trees on both sides, and I think you guys would like to see that block. We spoke briefly about trees the other day, but some of these houses that have the huge trees, you'll notice that their sidewalks are like ripped open because of the roots of the trees. The roots of the trees, you know, tear up the sidewalk and tear up the plumbing, and it basically raises everything, because ain't nothing stronger than Mother Nature. We both know that. These streets are in horrible shape, guys. My suspension is taking a beating. So if you can please donate a thumbs up, that's like donating money to help me fix my suspension. If you want to be extra generous, feel free to comment on the video after the stream is done. Remember, if you guys comment on the video and or like the video, you're actually making a donation. If you want to go the extra mile and really support Tune 215, share this video with one friend. Whether you text them the link, whether you post it on one of your social networks, sharing is caring, and it really helps out the channel. Together, we can do it, guys. Thank you. Let's make this left right here. We're on Grange Street. We're gonna make this left. Again, I can go right, I can go left. I can really go anywhere I want around here. We're on 5th and Grange. Rather than focusing on 5th Street, because now I almost feel, we're gonna take this yellow light. I'm sorry, guys. Look at somebody's car I hit on my right-hand side. That happens a lot in Philly. You'll wake up, depending on what corner you're parked at, you might wake up and your vehicle is totaled. There'll be drunk drivers, there'll be people that like steal cars, and then they go joyriding, and boom, they end up hitting cars, and yours is in the way. We're on Lawrence Street. I believe we're on the 5800 block of Lawrence, and on the left-hand side we have that school. Now in Philadelphia, I believe there is an extra charge that is given to criminals who distribute substances. Don't hold me to the actual yardage, but I think it's like 1 mile or 2 miles away from a school. I don't know what's the actual distance, but I know, let's say for example, if you're distributing product within 1 mile of a school, your charges are raised. So you get heavier charges just because you're within the area of a school. So theoretically speaking, if there was a drug kingpin living across the street from that school, it might not be too wise, because not only is he going to get the standard charges that normal people would get, but they'll give him a little extra because he's next to a school. So let's make a right on the 5800 block of 4th Street. This is a 2-story block. They got nice lawns. I I see a 1-story house we just passed. We have plumbing being done after the street has been completed. This is the story of my life. We had a brief discussion on how the city will build a beautiful street, an immaculate road, and then 3 months, 6 months, 9 months later, they'll break the road, put a bunch of holes in it to do plumbing. That's really backwards if you ask me. I think they should do all the work first and then make the streets so we can enjoy a lifetime of beautiful streets. But nope, that's not the case. All right, let's make a right on Grange, 400 block of Grange. We're on 4th and Grange. Let's go right. Let's go down 1 block of 5th Street. Let's go down this 5th Street right here so you guys can see. I don't know if this is the block with the business fronts. Maybe the next block has the business fronts. And then we'll end up cutting through True Street, Olney, etc., etc. We have Thomas Funeral Service right in front of us on 5th and Grange. Connection Nation, Attack Services Places on my right. Barbershop on my left. Nursing uniforms on my left. Child care centers on my right. Electronic stores. Hair stores. Hair salons. Church. Let's take 1 more block up. This is Chew Avenue. We'll come back up Chew Avenue. I just want you guys to see this little business district right here. This is for the residents. Usually in every single neighborhood that I could think of, whether it's Southwest Philly, whether it's West Philly, whether it's North Philly, whether it's, Northeast, whether it's up here, wherever you're at in Philly, every neighborhood tends to have a strip like this, like a little shopping district, 2, 3, 4 blocks dedicated to shopping. We're making a right on Olney Avenue. We have a unit right here on my left-hand side. We have African Foods on my right, China Walk on my right, more hair salons, hair products, beauty products. Fairhill Street, we're gonna make a right on Fairhill. No, we can't, access denied. We're gonna make a right on 6th Street. Now, most recently, we have East Auto and West Village on my left. Most recently, I would say probably 4 months ago, maybe 3.5 months ago, making a right on the 5600 block of 6th Street. They found a young brother, a young gentleman, ethnic brother of African-American descent. He was probably like 19. They found him in a trash bag, like below the little train tracks. We're passing Elkins. Yeah, they found him dead under there. Like they tried to dispose of the body. He was wrapped up. And it was said after they solved the case that it was like a girl led him there and she was with like 2 or 3 other guys. And long story short, his life ended tragically. They found him below the bridge, deceased. It was on the news. This is the neighborhood that it happened in. That's why I'm mentioning it. A lot of people get shot around here. Like right now, one of my other commenters on the Philadelphia Hood Tours videos, the silent ones without the narration, commented on one of the only videos and said that this neighborhood has been beefing with another neighborhood around the corner for years. Check out this guy, Speed Racer. And some of my viewers don't believe that I drive slow enough. They want me to drive slower, but it's like, we're on 6th and Grange. Look at this block, you see all the trees, big trees, front lawns. The dude over there was working on his property, I guess cutting some wood. Check out this gigantic Christmas tree looking thing on my left. You see how they got it on their lawn? Like they planted that on their lawn. It looks like a Christmas tree. And we got Fisher Park right here. Fisher Park. Okay, let's see. We go left, we go right. Let's go right so I can take y'all down that block with the trees. This is the block that I had missed out on earlier, right? Didn't I just miss out on this block? Let's see. Yeah, I did. Let's go down here just so that you guys can get an idea. Fairhill. trees. Now this is a block that they had to have these trees planted probably 30 years ago. I would say 20 to 30 years ago, these trees were planted. And like I told my other viewers in another narrated tour, it was an option as a resident. I know in my neighborhood, the block captain, you know, went house to house and asked if you want a tree. And if you wanted a tree, you made a small donation and boom, you'll get a little tree planted in front of your house. And these things started off as little teeny weeny, you know, 4-foot trees, as little teeny seedlings, you know. And now fast forward 20 years later and they basically overshadow the block, and it's not even summer. When you come through this block in the summer, this block gets natural shade because of all the trees. Now, if you go to this block, we have Grange in front of us. I think we just went through Grange. We're not gonna go through that block. Let's go right. But as you can see from the second block, there was no trees. Look at this tree right here in front of us, how it's bended like the Matrix. You seen that? Like it was dodging bullets. I guess the tree, you know, knew what neighborhood it was growing up in, so it had to adapt to its surroundings. Okay, that was supposed to be a joke, guys, you know? No pun intended. Alright, guys, so we are another Porsche. Wow, I just saw 2 Porsche Panoramas, the same exact vehicle. 5800 block Marshall on my right. I'm gonna keep going straight just because I have a feeling, yep, they were double parked right in the middle of the street. So you guys weren't missing nothing but somebody unloading their vehicle. All right, we're on 7th and Grange. Right in front of us is no outlet, meaning if you go in there, you're gonna have to make a U-turn to come out. Besides, that's the Amtrak. So the Amtrak runs right there in front of us, from left to right or right to left. You can pretty much travel around the East Coast with that Amtrak. Check it out. A few more people planting huge trees on their lawn. Like those trees are directly on their lawn. That's amazing that they would want to do that as homeowners. I can only imagine what it's doing to their plumbing. For those of you who don't know, trees break up cement. Like you would think cement's strong, and you know what's a plant gonna do to cement? Plants destroy foundations, especially when it comes to like water and all of that stuff. Yeah, as a homeowner, you definitely got to think twice about planting something like that, especially that close to your house and to your basement and your plumbing. Because in 20 years, those roots are gonna go through your basement. All right, some people got the Christmas spirit around here. We just passed Marshall Street, 5700 Marshall on my left-hand side. As of now, it's pretty quiet. We're on Chew, the 600 block of 6 and Chew. Now, not only is there younger minority brothers and sisters that live in this neighborhood, meaning in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, but I do know of a couple senior African Americans, like in their 60s and 70s, the older women and the older gentlemen, that they've also been in this community for quite some time, but they're more the old folk, the more respectable folk. Then they usually stay like indoors, you know what I mean? Or they go to church. Like you normally don't see them out causing trouble. All right, we're passing 5th and Chew Ave, the 500 block of Chew, and we're on the 5700 block of 5th Street. I think we can take Chew straight down so we can give Buddy, who used to live on that block, another view of his block. Check out that motorcycle. He looked too cool for school on that motorcycle. I really liked it, dude. Nice bike, man. A lot of little private mom and pop shops, am I right? And when I say mom and pop, I don't necessarily mean each and every single shop has a mother and a father in it that runs the shop. I'm basically saying like it's a small family business. It's not a big commercial franchise. All right, we're gonna pass 4th Street. We're on 3rd and Chew. We just passed the beautiful Honda S2000, one of my favorite Hondas to date. That Amazon Prime reverse beeping sound effect was horrible. It sounded like a chirping duck. It was like I almost thought something was wrong with my vehicle. I'm like, oh man, the dude in front of us is scrapping. He's trying to get some money, so that's why he rushed me by. Because you know, when you scrapping, depending on what type of scrapping you do you do pickups and all of that, or do you just do free range, like free roam scrapping? That's basically just paying attention to trash day and seeing if you drive by and see any washers, stoves, any appliances, anything that's metal is worth money. The more of that junk you have and you throw in your truck, the more money you have. Let me put this seed in your head. If you fill up a whole truckload of metal, maybe 2,000-3,000 pounds, you got light metal, or you got some copper, even better, lead or cast iron, it depends, because different metals sell for different prices. We're on Chew and Masher Street. If you have a truckload of metal, you can go drop that off and make anywhere from $150 to $200-300 a truckload. Mind you, these guys are just picking it up for free. So not only are they making money, but they're doing a good service to the community, because a lot of this stuff isn't gonna break down when it goes to the dump, All right, we're on the 5700 block of Howard, and this is Chew. We're still on Chew, so let's go up Howard. Did we go up Howard? Let's go up Howard. I think we did go up this block. Well, if we did, guys, we're gonna take it more to the right, just so that you guys can see some other areas. Look at this house right on the left. Like, the trees are completely like taking over the front entrance. Different neighborhoods have different trash days throughout the week, so not every neighborhood has the same trash day. Some neighborhoods is Fridays, some neighborhoods is Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I think the only day the trash department doesn't work is Sundays. I think. I could be wrong, but I've never seen a trash company work on a Sunday, unless it was probably like a special occasion or something. We're on Hope Street. Let's go down Hope Street. Go down the 5700 block of Hope Street. We have an older female right here. She looks to be in her 50s, 60s. She has some gray hair. She's cleaning. She's cleaning the front of her property. And she's Asian. She's of Asian descent. So there you go, guys. That goes to show you. She looked to be like an older Asian lady. And she was out front with her rubber gloves, and she was there picking the weeds from the cracks of her cement. That's how much she cared about her property, which is good. It's hard to find homeowners that not only care about the property, but care about the community. It's one thing to care about your personal space, but it's another thing to actually clean up the neighborhood because you're tired of seeing it dirty. All right, we're on the 5700 block of Hope Street, Hope and Chew. Shout out to Kurt the Ruler. I worked with Kurt the Ruler, Philadelphia musician. Shot a music video for him, and this was his hood. Shout out to the homie One John too, because we also did some work in this neighborhood. All right, in front of us we have the one and only Plaza. I guess I'll take a drive through it for you guys in case you guys haven't been here in a while. Maybe the businesses have changed. But if you're from this neighborhood, this is another shopping center that you can go to. I mean, you don't have to be from this neighborhood to go here, but 9 times out of 10, the people that are using it live close by. You don't see people coming from South Philly just to come use this spot, unless it's like something exclusive. Like, I can imagine the school uniform spot. It seems to be a business right in front of us called School Uniforms. I can imagine like people probably coming far and wide to go cop some school uniforms because, it might be like the only place to get the special color or something. But for other stuff, I don't think people are gonna be coming down here for. All right, we got Young World in front of us. School uniforms, beauty supply, Model Sporting Goods, Speed Bump. No, that wasn't the name of a store. That's what I just went over. Hair Buzz. Looks closed down. Oh, it's open, but they closed it. I promise you, yeah, this definitely was looted. You see the boards over the windows? Yeah, some of these businesses were looted. Dental Medical Care, the Hosiery Town, UFit Health Clubs, the 10th Spot, Snipes, which is a sneaker store, Relevant Furniture. Wow, what a unique name, Relevant. Trio Delight Cafe, National Guards if you want to sign up, Wing Spot, Octane Jeans, Ashley Stewart, The Laundry Cafe. The laundry is buzzing. Dry Cleaners, AT&T. Yo, that laundromat is popping. Olney Nails Inc., Dental Dreams, Lab Corp, Rising Sun Health Center, and Dollar Tree. We have the bus in front of us, the 26. Oh, and we have Rainbow. So if you want to come up here to go shopping, you gotta somehow find the 26 bus and you'll make it here. I'm gonna make a left. There is an exit in front of me. That's around the area where I shot a music video at. Could take you to Tacony Creek and to the Tacony Pathway. But I'm gonna go left so that you guys can see these businesses over here. Shout out to my homie Lil Gucci Lear. I remember me and him came here and picked up a bottle on a special occasion. We was out here. Lil Gucci Lear, Philadelphia music artist. We got Renner Center, Wilson's Beverage. Congressman Boyle's office was on my right. I don't even know who Congressman Boyle. We have a Wine and Spirits on my right. We have a ShopRite Pharmacy on my right. I'm gonna let this guy go. No problem, sir. He was nice enough to wave. Some people, you'll let them go. Yo, check out this dude that works there. I think he's like stretching, like he's walking while stretching. That was something that I would do, so I don't even know why I'm laughing, because I'd be aching sometimes, so I gotta like walk and stretch. Speaking of ache, I gotta crack my knuckles. Yeah, so we got T-Mobile, Quest Diagnostics, Danny Wok's, or Danny's Wok, probably an Asian, yeah, it's an Asian restaurant. GNC, Metro, Soul Food. I don't like seafood. I'm sorry for those of you who love it. Well, come here and buy some. We have a post office. Cool. And on my right hand side, you'll see the backyard of the residents that live on Front Street. On the Front Street side, that's their backyard. Now, as you can see, for the most part, the neighborhood's a quiet neighborhood. I mean, a lot of the time, the crime, I mean, I can't say it's impossible for it to happen to a random person, but a lot of the time, the people that you hear in the headlines are doing some type of mischief that lead them to become a victim. Sad to say. Not everybody that gets hurt or gets robbed or gets shot or gets killed, you know, did something to get into it, but a lot of the time it's like street beef, it's like internet beef, it's like a girlfriend, you know, talking to somebody's baby mom problem. You know, you look at somebody wrong, and if the person got a firearm on them and they don't know how to control their emotions and think first, they end up shooting first. You know what I mean? So, yeah. We're on the 5800 block of Front Street, Front and Grange. Let me take Front up one more, because I believe we covered left. The person behind me is beeping. They are beeping, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go right. Let's go right and give you guys a little look at this little spot right here. Oh, this is a private cul-de-sac. No, sir. It's good, though. I had to let that vehicle go by. I don't like being rushed, especially when I'm doing these tours for you guys. We got the bus. Yeah, I had a whole parade behind me. Yeah, I see a hard hat on the floor. Like a construction hard hat. Like a really clean one, too. Somebody must have dropped their work hat. Alright, some of these alleys have back porches, like double decks. Let's make a right over here. Let's just show you guys this little area, Nedro Avenue. This is right next to that plaza. That plaza's on my right. This is Water Street, 5900 block of Water Street. Again, we got Water Street in North Philly. Our Water Street is plagued with drugs and plagued with, you know, violence. That's what our Water Street looks like. This is what their Water Street looks like. Quiet. Peaceful. We have Liberty gas station on my left-hand side. We're gonna continue traveling to the 6,000 block of Water Street. We're on Water and Champlost. Water and Champlost. Look at the houses, look at the little lawns. They have front lawns. The brick pointing is beautiful. I love the colorful bricks. I love the little cobblestone accent. I'm sure they have furnished basements. Okay, we're gonna make a right here. Take you guys around this little roundabout. Again, we have A Street. This is A Street, and if you're from North Philly, you know our A Street, again, is drug-filled. People outside strung out, using drugs, selling drugs, everything of that nature. You come up here to the 60,000 block of A Street at the intersection of Spencer, and check it out. You get peace and quiet. You get serenity. You get a tranquil place to raise your kids. I'm not gonna say this neighborhood's a saint. You come out in the summer, I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of riffraff out. But a lot of the time, you don't bug no one will bug you. I think that's how it is anywhere in America. Just mind your business, keep on pushing, and you'll be A-okay. You guys wanna see an alley, what an alley looks like? Let me show you what an alley looks like so you guys can see what they're working with as far as rear parking. This is what rear parking looks like over here in the Olney section. Now, not all the Olney houses are equipped with rear parking, but as you can see, you got a little bit of rear parking. And if I keep on going more to my left, I believe I'll end up hitting the Feltonville section, and I don't want to go too deep because then we're gonna have people in the comments saying you're not in true Olney. But yeah. Yeah, they had their own garages. Some people had their garages gated in and whatnot. All right, so I can keep on going left to Ella. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take you through one last block on this side, which is Ella, and then we're gonna go towards 5th Street, 6th Street, 7th Street, 8th Street. All right, we're in the 5900 block of Ella. And again, if you go down to North Philly, to the 2900 block of Ella, to the 3200 block of Ella, if you go down Ella in North Philly, you're gonna see drugs, you'll see some trash, you'll see, you know, a bunch of people hanging out. You might even see corner boys hanging out and distributing product. You might see some candles, a rest in peace memorial, because that's the north side of the city. Right now, we're in the Olney section, but Olney is closer to the northeast section of the city. And the northeast section of the city tend to be a little cleaner. I don't know why, only the city officials know why it's like that. I'm assuming that North Philly is closer to the city. So, I don't know, in order to keep prices affordable, allow it to become riffraff. So, I don't know, my whole way of thinking on that, but you would think if it's closer to the heart of the city, they would make sure that it stays clean like sacred grounds. You know, you would think the city officials would prioritize it more because it's closer to the heart of the city. North Philly, or the blocks that I'm talking about, are 10 minutes from City Hall. This over here is like 30 minutes from City Hall. So you would think if it's 30 minutes from City Hall, this would be worse because it's farther from the heart of the city. And the heart of the city would be pretty and clean because they care about it. It's the opposite way around. But like I said, a lot of the minorities from North Side are moving up here or moving out of the city for whatever reason because they can't take it no more. I think this is Rosalind Street, the 100 block of Rosalind Street. See, my way of thinking is like a lot of the lifelong residents that are tired of what they're seeing, that are tired of, you know, the day-to-day struggle, you know, going up Kensington and seeing all that nonsense that's out. The way I see it is a lot of them, we're gonna make a right here because I think the front block goes left and I don't want to go left, I want to go right. I think a lot of them get tired of growing up in this atmosphere and they end up selling their homes just to get out, to make a way to go to Florida or to go to Jersey or to go to California, just leave the area, right? They end up selling their home for cheap. Then new residents come in, you know, gentrify the community, make the community beautiful, and then the houses that they just purchased for cheap in the neighborhood that all the minorities left from, fast forward 5, 10, 15 years later, it's a booming neighborhood. High value, you know, prize possessed neighborhood. We got this Chevy Cruze in front of us. We got 3 young brothers. I don't know if they're Uber. I don't know if they're Lyft. I don't know if they're waiting for a 4th young brother to jump in the vehicle. But now I got a vehicle behind me to help with the beep beep. Like I said before in Philly, sometimes you'll press beep beep and they'll look at you like you in the wrong. Like, why you rushing me? Look, there was a parking there the whole time. Oh, but he don't know how to park, so yeah. He could have just pulled up on the sidewalk on my left-hand side, but all right, so we have 2-story and 3-story homes, because this is kind of like a 3-story because it got the apex top, but then it also got the raised basement. So like I said, if some of these homes got furnished basements, then that's a 3-story home in a 2-story package. You know what I mean? It's a 2-story shell. All right, we're gonna make a left over here. Block of Spencer Ave. You can go right down Spencer, but we're gonna go left. House for sale. Houses in this neighborhood, I'm assuming you're looking at anywhere from, like, on the low end. Mind you, it depends on what's wrong with the house, what needs to be done with it, and what the area, you know, what's your block look like as far as how many inhabitants it has and whatnot. But I would say like 65,000 on the low end. You might be lucky to get a 50,000 piece around here. And on the high end, I don't know, you might be pushing it to ask for like 110, 120, 130. They're 100-year-old houses. Some of them like 70-year-old houses. So yeah, they don't have central air, central heat. You know, they have all the old asbestos or old insulation and whatnot. So yeah, we're on 2nd and Spencer Ave. We're just gonna keep on going straight. We're gonna ride this out straight. We're gonna ride Spencer out and see where it takes us. Passing Phillip Street, passing American Street. We're about to pass 3rd Street. Third and Spencer. We have a female on my left-hand side. She's hanging up a Santa Claus flag. It must be her, and it looks like it'll be her father, because she looks to be in her 20s, and the dude looks like he's in his late 60s. He's bald, so yeah, that's probably like her pop, and they're hanging up some decorations. All right, we're on 4th and Spencer. Passing Lawrence and Spencer. We have a church on my right-hand side. It's a parish. This takes up the whole block. It's a big building. Big, beautiful church. On my left-hand side, we got the Korean Community Development Services Center. In front of us, we got orthopedics, oral surgery, adult pediatric dentistry. This church is called St. Helena Incarnation Catholic School, an independent mission school. Their website is www.sthelenphila.org. On the left-hand side is that park that I was mentioning earlier that I like to take my dog. It's a nice park to come to. And now we're on Spencer and Fairhill. Let me make a right on this block of Fairhill, so this can be the last block y'all see of this segment, but y'all gonna see a whole different, you see? A whole different like layout as far as stylization, I should say. The porches now are made out of cobblestone and brick, but they're still open porches. Got the trees and all of that. Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. You can continue going left to just explore more and more of Olney or Olney. Comment below, let me know how you prefer to say Olney. But yeah, you can continue going left to explore more of the Olney section. But for now, guys, that is going to conclude today's tour of the Philadelphia, PA Olney section. The address was provided by one of our viewers. Thank you for providing that address. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who's been engaging with my vehicles, engaging with my videos. I'm sorry, guys. I said vehicles. Engaging with my videos. I really appreciate it. And make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell, because if you don't turn on the notification bell, you're not going to get notified whenever we drop a video. If you want to make a donation of a thumbs up, feel free to donate a free thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds of your time to click that thumbs up button and or engage with the video, but it goes a long way, guys. Thank you. This is tuning out, and have a good day.